Nancy was someone who came up to me during a break in a workshop. Her real name isn't Nancy. We'll call her Nancy, but her real name was Rochelle. And Nancy came up to me, and she was wearing a name tag, and I saw that. But she came up and she said, Michael, could I ask you a question? And I said, yeah. And so during the break, she asked me this question. She said, I'm not assertive like you, and I'm not a communicator trained like you, so it's hard for me to say how I really feel. There's a guy at work who is really bothering me, and he's driving me crazy. Now, I, of course, said what you would say, which is, have you ever what? Have you ever told him? Right. And she, of course, said what? She said no. Of course she did. So she said I can't do that. I'm not that kind of person. I said, okay, all right. Could I ask you just to do an experiment? You know that I love to do experiments from today, right? And she said, sure. And I said, what would the most assertive, high communication person say if they were in this situation where someone was bothering them on their team at work, driving them crazy? And it was a stunning thing. She went like this. She is a shorter woman. She stood up about 2 inches taller. She shoved her chest out like this. She puts her hand up like this, and she took a step toward me. And she said, well, first of all, I'd say, where do you get off? And she starts going like this. And she starts moving closer to me, and she starts spitting. I mean, I wear glasses, and she's like a projectile spitter. And she's coming like that, and she grabs me by my lapels, which made me nervous because I was not wearing lapels at the time. And she's going, and then she stopped. This when it was about 15, 20 seconds. She stopped, she dropped her hands, she reduced 2 inches, and then she said, but I can't do that. And I, of course, said, why? And she said these telling words. She said, because that's not, will you say it? Right. She said, that's not me. She said, that's not me. You're exactly right. And then all I did was follow up gently, and I said, okay, who decides that? You see what I was asking her? These self-beliefs, this self-communication affects everything we do when we lead others, when we interact with others.